Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how I did this look that is on my face, and it's just like a intro to fall look because I'm all about that fall life, even though it's still summer here because it still gets up to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It's just like a cranberry-ish, reddish, smoky eye with like a glitter inner corner. And yeah, if you want to see how I created this look, then just keep on watching. So I know, I look pretty crazy right now, but like that's kind of what happens whenever you only have one eye done. But trust me, this will look good in the end, so yeah. I'm using the ColourPop Yes Please palette, and I think I've only used this twice on my videos, but I wanted to do a look that only used this palette. So yeah, my eyes are already primed, everything is set in place. And also before we start, I do want to say that this eye has like a reaction, and I probably shouldn't be putting makeup on top of it and let it heal, but that's why it looks a little bit patchy, not because the shadows are patchy, but because my eye itself has like a rash. But this eye is fairly normal. It looks a little bit dry, but not as bad as this eye, so hopefully the shadows look better on this eye. I'm gonna start off by taking this kind of sandalwoodish shade. It's like a neutral brown, and I am using the ColourPop brush. I don't know the name because they weren't smart enough to put the names on them. I'm gonna start off by applying this to my crease, and this is going to be our transition shade. And just a tip for smoky eyes is to start like with lighter colors and then work your way to darker colors, because if you just start with a dark color, you'll look like you have a black eye and it will not be a good look, trust me. And I'm not really going to take it outwards like I usually do. I'm just gonna keep it in like a circular oval motion just within my crease. I'm gonna try to put the name down below of this brush, but what I like in specific about this brush is that if you can see, it kind of has like a flat side and then like a thinner side. So what I do is I pack my shade in here, and I take the horizontal side, which is like flat like this, and I pack that in, and then I flip my brush, which is vertically now, and it kind of distributes it in a softer way. Guys, I'm so sad my tan has officially left from summer. It's October and my tan lines have like basically disappeared. If you remember my Get Ready With Me right after summer, my tan lines were on point and I miss them so much. Now I'm so pasty and white. Maybe it's because the brightness is really up, but I actually look white. Like really white right now. Okay, so once I have blended the edges and just really kind of smoked that out, I'm gonna move on to our next shade, which is going to be this kind of cranberry-ish, reddish color. I don't know how else to describe it. And I'm using a Makeup Geek defined crease brush. Somebody commented that they want me to say what brushes I am using, so I'm gonna try. Because some of my brushes don't have names, and I honestly don't have the time to search every brush individually and link it down below, but I will describe the shape like that. You kind of get an idea of what it is that I'm using. But yeah, I'm using that shade that I just showed and just blending that into my actual crease. I'm not gonna be going up as high as the previous shade we just went in with. And I am going heavy with this color. Like, I'm first going to pack it in like crazy, and then I'm going to blend it out. So see how unblended that looks. Now we're gonna blend it out. Remember to not blend it up as high though. Just make sure that there's no harsh edges, because that's the whole point of a smoky eye, is that your shadows look smoked out and not like boom boom, you know, not like black and then. Okay, I honestly don't know what I want to say, but you get what I'm saying. These ColourPop shadows seriously blend so nicely, it's insane. Now a little tip is to go back into the first shade that we used. Just dip your brush in once and just go in between those two colors, and that will really help you blend out those edges. I really want to go like in depth in this tutorial, because usually my tutorials are short, and it's because I don't really go as in depth, and I feel like I should, so I'm gonna try to go as in depth as possible for you guys, just so that if you're a beginner, this is kind of like easier to follow along and you can actually learn something off of this video. And now this is gonna seem repetitive, but the key again to smoky eye is to repeat those steps lots of times. I probably applied the dark shadow on my lid like a good 6-7 times and blended it out each time. I'm not going to show that on camera every single time, but just so that you know, it is key to go in with the shadow, blend it out, go back in, blend it out, because or else you won't have enough pigment, or again, you'll just have really harsh edges and your smoky eye won't look blended out. Okay, going back in with the first shade and blending that out. So once that's blended out, now we're gonna go in with the darkest shade. This is a very simple eye look. I'm going in with the darkest shade in the palette, which is this one right here, and just going to pack that onto the lid area. And I do recommend to, if you're gonna be doing this smoky eye, to do your eye makeup first, because this does have fallout, not because the shadows in themselves have fallout, but because you're repeating the steps so many times and blending out so many times that you will get fallout eventually. So I just recommend to do your eyes first. I always do my eyes first, but for those of you that do your face first, in this case, I would not recommend that. Kind of like the previous shade, I first packed that shade like really heavily onto my eye, and then I'm going to take the previous shade, which is now the kind of maroonish shade, and blend the edges out. And the thing with smoky eyes is it can be very discouraging, because whenever you like pack on the shade and then blend out the edges, it's like the shade just disappeared, so you have to pack it on again. But trust me that after a good 5 times, you will have that pigment laying there. And I need to sneeze, but I probably jinxed it, so now I'm not gonna sneeze. Okay, I don't have to sneeze, see? I knew it. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna be honest that the only shade in this palette that for me personally just hasn't worked the best is the darkest shade right here. So I know I said this was like a one palette look. Technically it is. If you like how it looks like this, just leave it like that. But I do feel like I wanted to go in with something a little bit darker that goes on darker. And obviously I'm using my Modern Renaissance palette. I feel like Cypress Umber is really similar, if not identical, just that a lot more pigmented. Like, just look at the difference. Yeah. But don't forget to go back in and blend. I cannot stress enough that you have to blend out, apply, blend out, apply, like 5 times at least. If you do that, you will get the best smoky eye ever. So yeah, just do that, you know? So it literally looks like I have a black eye under here. I'm just gonna wipe that off. Now I'm gonna go in with the Physicians Formula liquid liner and just line my lash line, because I want the lash band to kind of blend in. It's just a really thin line. So now I'm gonna apply lashes. Oh, I forgot to apply mascara. Okay, don't forget to put mascara on before. I know some people like to put on after, but it does make your lashes last less. So those are the eyes done. I'm actually really happy with how they turned out. And I think we can go ahead and move on to the face. I'm gonna use the MAC Matchmaster Foundation. I add like a pump per side of my face. So for concealer, I don't know if I should use a ColourPop concealer because it does oxidize a lot. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit, because this concealer seriously goes a long way. And if it did get darker, I'm just going to apply a lighter concealer over top. So I'm just gonna blend that a little bit out and then see what happens. You guys, I'm actually so excited. I ordered so much shit on Morphe, and I'm excited because I ordered the Jaclyn Hill palette. Finally, I know I'm a little bit late, but it was always out of stock, and I was not into waking up really early and ordering it, so I just waited until they really would launch lots of stock, which is what they did now. It's been in stock for like 2 weeks now, And I just ordered the Jekyll and Hyde palette, the Morphe 35B, which is the really colorful palette. I ordered one concealer, which I've heard is really good. I ordered 2 brow pencils, which I'm skeptical about because it is Morphe and it was only $5, so I might have to review that in one of my tutorials. And I ordered 2 liquid lipsticks and 2 sponges. So I am so excited to get those in the mail. For powder, I am going to... Just kidding. Before powder, I'm actually going to go in with the Becca cream highlight. It's really beat up. And I'm just going to apply that like on the high points of my face. This is going to be like the base for our highlight. And I just want to put this down before we do any powders, because if I put this on top of a powder, it doesn't look really good on the skin. So yeah. So now we are going to go in with powder. And lots of people think that if they put like cream highlight before powder and then apply powder, it'll like disappear. And if your powder is translucent, yeah, some of the glow will leave, but it's not supposed to be like get completely rid of it. I'm not sure if I said what powder I'm using. I'm using the NYC powder. I love this powder so much. I ordered 3 more and they arrived today. Like, look, this is heaven to me. This is what heaven looks like for me. Like, this powder is seriously amazing and it's only $3. Like, how? I'm actually going to bake today, which I never do, but I mean, I just ordered a shit ton of powder, so I might as well use it up. So maybe I went a little bit crazy, but let's just ignore that and move on to bronzer. So for bronzer, I am going to be taking the Shade and Light palette and I'm picking up the middle shade over here. Oh wait, oof. Let me first set that before I cause any tragedies, because I'm not about to be a patchy looking ass bitch. I'm taking the Rimmel Stay Matte powder and a fat brush. Just setting like that cheek area so that it doesn't look patchy whenever you apply like bronzer or blush. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the bronzer. Ooh, I'm like forgetting to say the brushes I'm using. This is the ColourPop powder brush. It's the biggest brush in the set. And I don't actually use it for powder. As you guys can see, I'm using it for bronzer. I always use it for bronzer. It's so soft. Also, my skin is like, my skin texture itself is getting better. If you guys have seen like my older videos, I do have like pretty bad texture, and it came out of nowhere. Like in April, I just started getting texture. So my skin has really been ups and downs since like winter of last year. I've gotten used to it, but then the texture came and I was like, this too. So I've just been in a funk with my skin, but I started like a very simple skincare routine, literally only like 3 steps, and I've been doing it for like a week and a half, which I know isn't a lot, but my skin texture like on my forehead is practically gone. But I don't want to do a skincare routine video yet because maybe I'm just in luck. So I do want to wait a good 2 solid months and actually see if my skin has improved. So to contour my jawline, I do use the Real Techniques contour brush, which is a lot more precise. I did used to use this for my whole face before, but I've stepped up my game. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this ColourPop brush. I ordered the whole bundle, so I don't know the names of these, but it's like a flat kind of shading brush, as you guys can see. And I'm just going to, wait, just kidding, I'm a mess. I'm actually gonna contour my nose first, and I'm using the same bronzer that I used. I am the worst at cleaning my brushes, like honestly, I just don't have the time. I mean, I do, but I don't do it. And I know I should, but I don't do it. Now I am going to wipe off the bake. Something that I like to do to clean up my contour is take the Rimmel Stay Matte powder and just kind of like dig my beauty blender into that and clean it up. So now for highlights, I'm gonna be using MAC Soft and Gentle. And the brush I use for this one, this is always the same brush. I just love how this brush applies highlight. This is the, okay, that's when you know I love this brush. Like, I can't see the name anymore, but I love it so much that I actually remember. It's the Real Techniques setting brush. I'm like flicking you guys off, but it's not on purpose. And then my nose highlight, I always like to do it with a brush. It's just so much more precise. I'm gonna use this as the base for our inner corner because I am going to be adding something else in there. And I'm just lightly dusting this over my eyebrows just for a little bit of extra glow. Not too much because I'm oily skin, so it'll be glowy anyways in 1 hour. Okay, so for the inner corner, I'm actually using this like Wet n Wild pressed glitter in the shade No Clue because I peeled it off, but it's the gold one. It's not like they have a huge variety. It's a really weird consistency, but I like it a lot actually. You don't have to put like a glitter glue down, and oh, it is so pretty. So for the lower lash line, if you're a normal person, you will want to really make it dark so that it balances out with the top. But for some reason, I just feel like it's complete like this for me. But for the sake of the video, I will add underneath, which I probably won't end up liking it, but I'm using this shade right here, the first one that we use, and this is going to go all under our lower lash line. And I honestly, I feel like I'll just stick to this one. I'm not going to add more than that. It's really important to connect the lower lash line with your top eyeshadow. So for lips, I'm having a really heavy debate. I don't know what to use. This is in the shade Mosh Pit. It's a Lippie stick by ColourPop, and it's a matte X, so it's really, really matte. Yeah, I like how this looks already. I don't know why it looks a lot brighter on camera. I want to go in with Pillow Talk, which is also by ColourPop. It's a little bit more cool tone, so hopefully it'll like, yeah, this will tone it down. Okay, so I feel like that actually looks even better. Love how this look turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Love you.